lords and ladies, welcome back to Cartoon Hangout, your place for all things cartoon. I've had my fair share of criticisms with this series, and while some of them can be brushed aside as a product of the times or limited technology, I don't think all of it can be so easily dismissed. This episode, the backstage rage may not have had any noticeable scenes that flowed horribly into one another like certain past episodes, but it did have many moments where my suspension of disbelief broke. The villain of the episode, the Phantom Puppeteer, may as well possess supernatural abilities for how well he's able to pass off life-size puppets as real people, or control so many puppets. I'll accept that he could throw his voice to make it sound as if the puppets were talking. As it's already been established, the Shaggy can do so, but I can't force myself to believe the gang managed to not notice any of it, or how they not for one moment suspected the doorman of being the bad guy. He was the only other character in this episode, with the exception of the police officer at the end. I've said in the past, I really dislike when the franchise does a sloppy job of explaining how the villain of the day does what he does, and this episode is a really good example of that poor writing in my opinion. I know this is a series with a talking dog that no one finds strange, but there are some elements that need to make sense within the world the show takes place in. That large negative out of the way, there are still parts of the episode that I enjoyed. As poorly explained as he was, I felt that Puppeteer was a really creepy bad guy. His use of puppets calls to mind other villainous puppets like Chucky or Slappy. While the antics never evolved into quite that level of horror, you have to admit the scene where the gang discover the doorman is just a puppet was one of the creepiest moments in the episodes thus far. I just wish the entire episode had been a bit more like that. There was also plenty of comedic moments as usual. So, do I think this is a bad or a good episode? Well, despite my disdain for unexplained villains, the rest of the episode did manage to win me back, leading me to call this an okay episode. There's bound to be worse episodes out there, but there's also better ones too. What about you? What did you think of this episode? Leave me a comment down below, and also, who is your favorite evil puppet in fiction? Let me know. Thanks for watching. Take care. Hey there, lords and ladies. Thanks for watching this video, the first one of Scooby-Doo month. I've got lots more planned over the course of January, and I'm really excited for you to watch some of these videos. Before you click off the video, because I guess it is over my suspense slate, consider checking out some of my other videos, like my previous Scooby-Doo Where Are You review for episode 8, or you can browse through the Cartoon Hangout Season 2 playlist. Happy Scooby-Doo month!